Hello everyone, this is Arpan. In this video, I'll demonstrate how to add storage to your ESXi. So there are basically three options that you can add your storage to the ESXi host. So one is NFS volume, that is nothing but your file share. So once you create a file share, that share drive, you can mount it to your ESXi host. Another one is iSCSI LUN. LUN is like logical unit number that can be accessed from your SAN server, and another one is like raw device mapping. So raw device mapping is nothing but attaching a physical hard disk to your ESXi host. So in this tutorial, what I'll do, I'll use a 2012 data center server as a SAN server, and I'll be creating SAN disk, that will be iSCSI SAN disk, so that my ESXi host can access those SAN disk. And as it is using a same SAN server, so my storage will be shared among the ESXi host. So in the 2012 server, I'm going to server manager, then I'm going to add roles and features. Then I'm adding a role called file and storage services. Then I'm selecting the file server feature and the iSCSI target server. So here I've already installed the roles, and I've created a hard disk. I've created a logical volume called SAN disk 1. So in the server manager, I'll go to file and storage services tab, then I'll go for the disk. Then I can see that the drive I've created as SAN disk 1 is having the GPT partition. Then I'll go to iSCSI. So here I can create a iSCSI virtual disk. So here it is giving me the option which disk I should select. So I'm selecting E drive, or else I can type a custom path where I can specify any folder. So I'll give the SAN disk a name and how much space I should specify for the disk. So there is the very important part, that iSCSI target. So iSCSI target servers are basically those servers which will have the access of this SAN disk. Which servers can use the iSCSI disk. So as an iSCSI target name, I'm giving like ESXi target. And here is the optional description. Then here I need to add the servers which will have the access. So I'll click on add. So here I can have two options. One is like I can create a query, or I can select a IQN type, or I can select an IP address or a DNS name. So in the IP address, I'll type the IP address of one of my ESXi box, and I'll again click on add. I'll select IP address, and I'll type another IP address of my ESXi box. Another ESXi box IP address. So here I'm having three ESXi boxes, so I have to specify three IP address as iSCSI targets. So as I'm using this ESXi servers as virtual servers, so I need to specify iSCSI adapter. So if you are using a physical ESXi, then you need to connect your ESXi server through the SAN server, through the HBA channel, or through the host bus adapters. So I've gone to configuration, and I can see that which all SCSI types are there that is accessing the ESXi box So I need to add an iSCSI adapter. So as for that, I need to click on add, and it is like add software iSCSI adapter. So my software iSCSI adapter has been created and it has generated the IQN name. So IQN name is like internet qualifying number, which is very important in specifying your connectivity through your SAN server. So once I've added a iSCSI adapter, I need to right click on it and I'll go to properties. This is the authentication that is selected as chat. I'll go to network configuration, and here I can see that which NIC card it is using to get connected with the SAN server. So in the dynamic discovery, I'll click on add and I'll give the iSCSI initiator server name. In this case, I'm using the IP address. So here the authentication process, if you want to change something, so by default it will be chat. So close this one and it will ask me for a rescan. So once you click on yes. So another way to add a iSCSI target is by giving the IQN name. So here I'll copy the IQN name and here in this add initiator I'll place the value. So either by IP address or by IQN name also you can add the access service. So as I can see, like there is again that asking about the authentication from SAN server end. So it is creating the iSCSI virtual disk, iSCSI targets. So once everything is set up, I'll again select my iSCSI adapter. So in the same way I have added iSCSI adapter to all the ESXi boxes. So I'll select the ESXi host. And I need to create to rescan all. So once I've created the rescan all, so as you can see at the beneath, like MSFD iSCSI disk has been mounted, and what is the capacity of that disk. So my iSCSI disk has been added to the ESXi host, and the next part will be using that disk. So for that case, I'll go to storage, then it is the only data store that is having right now. Then I'll click on add storage and I'll select the option disk and LUN. So as you can see, it will be using that iSCSI. So what iSCSI disk which is mounted, I'll be selecting that iSCSI. Then what is the file version? So in this file system version, that is virtual machine file system version, so as you can see, like if you want to have one hard disk or one storage should be more than 2 TB, so in that case you need to select VMFS 5. So if you are selecting VMFS 3, then you can't increase a disk more than 2 TB, even though the partition is in GPT. So this is the current disk layout. I need to give a data store name. Then I'll click on next. That is like, you can also specify how much space you're gonna use from that iSCSI disk. Like I'll use this maximum available space. Then the final summary, finish. So as you can see that this iSCSI disk can be used by the ESX host. So here also I'll do the same thing to add the storage. Automatically the storage will be added. So once you're creating a VM, so in that case, if you are selecting that SAN disk and you are completing the creation of the VM, so that means the ESXi host are sharing the same storage, so there will be no issue in migrating the VM from one ESX to another. So here I am migrating a VM. So as you can see, as the ESXi boxes are sharing the same storage where the VM is residing, so it all gives me compatibility checks as successful. For this video, that's it.